You're listening to the Sunday Polka Show here, and I have a guest with me today, Mr. Jeff Pecon. How are you, Jeff?
Good afternoon, Al. It's nice to see you again, and hello to all your listeners, and thanks for inviting me down. It's always a pleasure to see your smiling face.
I'm glad you could make it.
Absolutely.
And I have another guy. I had a guy here yesterday, Mike Dragas, on the Polka Showcase.
I heard all about it.
Did you?
Another guy I got to support.
Yeah,
huh?
right.
I heard all about it.
Keep working so we get our Social Security checks.
Yeah,
You're all right.
We played at the Waterloo Slovenian home last night, and I had a number of people come up to me and tell me all about the conversation. Yes. I don't know how many people I can support, Al.
Well, keep working. You're doing fine.
For those of your listeners who don't know what we're talking about, Al calls me regularly at my office and says, well, I'm just calling to make sure you're working so that I can continue to collect my Social Security money. And so that's what that's all about. Now I've got someone else I have to support, but that's all right.
That's okay, huh?
You supported me for a long time.
Yes, I did. You're right.
Absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jeff. Right now we've got to do something here.
All right, go ahead. You do whatever you have to.
It's that time.
It's that time.
It's that time.
All right.
And we're back here at Polka Time with Jeff Pecon, the Sunday afternoon Polka Time. And Jeff, tell the people what we've got coming up here, because this is something new. And if it works, Kuhar, you better start making these things right away.
Well, I think you've got queued up one of the side-by-side cuts there, and that's an album that we did with Fred Kuhar. Oh gosh, it's got to be at least 10 years ago, probably more like closer to 15 years ago. And Freddie was nice enough to put it on CD for me as a gift. And Andy Cashin, if you're listening, we've got a real treat for you coming up later, because my good friend Freddie, he and Pete are like another set of brothers for me and for John, you know. Fred was nice enough to put all of my father's 78s from Capitol Records and all of the 78s he did with Frank Yankovic on the CD for me. So I have those with me, Al, and I think we're going to spin a few of them. But this first cut here that we have queued up is a tune called Luddy's Polka. So let's see what that sounds like, Al.
And I'll tell you, that was nice. Freddie Kuhar, that was well done. I'll tell you, it sounds good.
What an engineer he is, huh?
Right. If you're listening, why, make a call, will you, Freddie? We got to talk to you.
I don't know if he's out of bed yet, Al. It's just a little bit past noon. It's only a couple hours past noon. He
hasn't had any cases on me, so he might still be sleeping.
That's for sure. The next thing I think we have queued up there, Al, now this is an old 78, Capitol 78 that my father, Johnny Pecon, and Lou Trebar recorded. And this is, this would have been my father and Lou and Eddie Platt, Church Cernick, Whitey Loveson, Johnny Kafer. This is my favorite band, I think. Let's give it a listen. Darlene Waltz.
we're experimenting, and I see this is
absolutely.
Yeah, right. We'll get the next one lined up here.
That's all right. Well, yeah, I'll tell you what. If you line something up there, Al.
We've got all those 78s there. I think for those folks who don't remember, there probably were, I would say, maybe 2 or 3 distinct bands that you could define in terms of the old Pecon band, and that's one of them, the Capitol Recording Band. And then in later years, the band with Paul Yanchar and Jimmy Medvis and Merk Yama, and of course my dad and Lou and Johnny Kafer. That was a band that a lot of you will remember on the TV shows, the Al Wish shows and whatnot. And then of course Louis Sater came into the picture, and Joe Pianecki, your old drummer, Al.
Right.
So those were the bands that I guess you could distinguish as being somewhat separate bands, and each one had their own characteristics, and had their own sound to a certain degree, but still kind of around that core Pecon sound. So why don't you let another one fly there, Al?
Right, this is a real treat.
Back to Al Markic with America's favorite polkas and waltzes.
And we're back here at 1560 WATJ with the Sunday Afternoon Polka Show, and I have a guest, Mr. Jeff Pecon.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, Jeff. You just got through talking to my attorney.
Your attorney, my attorney. The entire Slovenian world relies on Fred Kuhar's legal counseling.
Right.
Right. And that's why many Slovenians that we know, Al, are currently in jail.
That's right.
Hello, Freddie, and sorry to hear about your mom. Freddie's mom's been having some health problems here lately, and we'll say a prayer for her, Fred, and hope that everything turns out okay. But, Al, last night we were at Waterloo Slovenian Home playing for the Modern Crusaders. And
Modern Crusaders. You played for that a long time.
Oh, gosh. You know,
your dad used to play for that.
Yeah, for years and years, many years, and we're fortunate enough to continue that tradition. Gosh, I think our band has played for the last 20, 21 years for them. But we had a very nice crowd last night, and had a chance to play a lot of the great old favorites. And we saw your boss there last night. John and Julie were there, and dancing up a storm. And
Antoniak.
Oh, yeah. And where's John today?
Well, I don't know whether they're playing today or not, but I know they're leaving. I think maybe they left today. They're playing down in Florida for a week.
Oh, good for him.
Rudy Koshishnik and his group, Lake Erie Button Box group.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, no, they haven't left because Marty Melise called me this morning, so they're still here. But
well, when you're the boss, you can leave anytime you want, right, John?
Anytime you want, right? Yeah, the most of them are driving down, but John's going to fly down, so he can leave a day later and still get down there before them.
There you are.
Right.
Well, this next tune we have queued, Al, is also a tune we did on the side-by-side album, and we still get a lot of requests for this particular number, and it's an old standard waltz that we kind of did in our own style, and it's called Cruising Down the River.
Cruising down the river on a
a Sunday afternoon, Jeffy.
Yeah,
Nice.
I don't think we can get down the river today. I think it's frozen, Al.
Yeah, it probably is.
But speaking of the river, or the water, I should say, on March the 9th, I'm really looking forward to leaving with, I think, about 200-some people, Al, with the All-Star Polka Cruise coming
Oh,
up
you're going
here.
on a cruise, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
We're going to have a nice time.
Stick me in your pocket.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure. Remember how I used to carry your banjo for you?
sure.
Well, now I'll let you carry my corgi.
I could have yeah, okay, okay.
I think we're going to the news here
We're
in
gonna
a
go to the
few
news,
minutes. Let's find out what's happening in the
Oh,
world.
you better put it in there, Al.
Let's put it in.
Playing America's popular favorites from the heart of Maple Country. This is 1560.
And good afternoon, Chardon in Northeast Ohio. Thanks very much for listening to 1560 WATJ. Your weather forecast today, partly cloudy with a high of 30 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of between 15 and 20 degrees. And tomorrow will be partly sunny with the temperature in the low 30s. And at 2:33, we have 30 degrees under clear skies at the home of America's popular favorites, 1560 WATJ, where we play memories. Now back with the Sunday afternoon polka show, and my guest today is Mr. Jeff Pecon, who brought some CDs of his father's, some of the stuff that's, I guess it was almost extinct, wasn't it?
It is, Al. You can't find it. In fact, you can't even find his albums anymore.
You're right.
We were discussing that not long ago, the fact that we'd like to perhaps get those masters and
Put
re-release
something
some
out.
of those things.
Right.
But I think we're working on it. I think some things will happen here shortly.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I've been working on some stuff myself for Capitol and a few others, but
Yeah, it's difficult to get your hands on.
Right.
Capitol, I had some correspondence with Capitol 3 or 4 years ago, and they have quite a bureaucratic procedure that you have to go through to
yes,
to secure those masters. As a matter of fact, they will not sell them to you. They will lease you the
them.
rights,
Right.
and you have to come in with a marketing plan and all kinds of things, which unfortunately I just never had the time to put together. But anyway, I think this next thing we're going to spin, I've always been a big Eddie Habit fan. Eddie's playing has always been an inspiration to me and to a lot of the local Cleveland polka musicians. I shouldn't say just Cleveland, guys all over the country always admired Eddie's playing. He played with that fire, with that zest,
You're right.
And this is a great, great polka that we've got coming up here called the Greenleaf Polka.
Okay.
That's a great one, isn't it?
Oh, that was wonderful.
Yeah, Greenleaf.
Good.
Eddie, if you're listening, that's always been one of my favorites. Some great chord changes in there. All you musicians listening out there, if you can pick up that one, then you got a pretty good ear for chord changes.
That's a good one.
That's an excellent one.
Right.
Yeah. I think the next thing we have here, Al, is a song that was recorded by Frank Yankovic with my father, and this is probably along with Georgie Cook and Al Nagel and Church Cernick. Yeah, this was the old Yankovic recording band on Columbia Records, and this was I would say in the late 40s, and this has always been one of my favorites, called the Susie Waltz.
Okay.
All right. Well, we thought that was going to be the Susie Waltz, but that was my screw up there, Al. That was the Clinker Polka and the Cocktail Waltz.
That sounded familiar.
Yeah, Cocktail Waltz. Yeah, you wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Al?
Nope.
No.
I'm totally ignorant.
Of course. And that was the Frank Yankovic Band, along with my father, Johnny Pecon, back in the late 1940s. Columbia recording and 78 RPM recordings. And Gee, Fred, you sure cleaned those up nicely. They sound great.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's good job.
And we appreciate everybody that's calling in today. Al, you've been a busy guy today.
Yeah, I've had a lot of phone calls today.
A lot of phone calls. So there you are. And the sun's shining. It's a beautiful day out there. And but we hope that people are listening in their cars if they're out driving around or wherever they may be. And I appreciate you having me down, Al.
Well, it's a pleasure. Always enjoy company, you know.
Absolutely.
You're here all day by yourself, you get kind of lonesome.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm a little upset about is there's only one cookie left on the holiday cookie party
that's
tray.
tough.
Yeah.
Well, you can have that one, too, you know. We'll let you have that.
Looks like it's been here a while.
Not too long. Not too long. They don't last too long. They go pretty fast.
Well, the next thing we have queued up, Al, in fact, I had the pleasure of seeing my Aunt Nettie a couple of weeks ago. No, last week, I should say. Last Sunday, we had dinner with her. And this next tune is one that the band did on Capitol Records. And it's called Lollapalooza. Let's give that one a listen.